Hey everyone, welcome to this fantastic interview episode of the Electronic Cafe. Mark and I just had the good fortune to talk to the rather wonderful Agency V and their incredible album Never Meant to Be, which was released on the 11th of July. If you haven't got it, we strongly recommend you go and buy a copy. It's absolutely brilliant. Mate, what a great bunch of people and, you know, incredible success story in such a short space of time.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly why we started the Electronic Cafe like nearly 4 years ago, because there's so many great artists out there which are already established, but there's also, we want to tip our cap to these new up-and-coming artists. And I mean, we know Pete Steer from back in the day. I mean, he lives quite close to us. We know his work with Tin Gun, and we know his work with Tenek. We know Lloyd and Marie for a little bit, but it's all come together really quickly, like you say. I mean, support slots with Gary Numan. I mean, you know, it's moving fast for them. Yeah, they've had a sequence of really strong singles, and it's all been pulled together on this album. And it's like great to catch up with them and share their music to a wider audience.
Yeah, definitely. Just going back to what you said, just really nice people as well. Really lovely people, and you just wish them every success, right?
Should we jump into the episode?
Let's do it, brother.
Okay, Agency V on the Electronic Cafe. Enjoy. We spoke to him for, I don't know, hour and a half, and it was kind of like, I mean, especially for Andy. I mean, well, I was genuinely worried that Andy might faint or something. because it, like, you know, Andy got chucked out of school for wearing a Telecom jumpsuit. It's like that.
Jumpsuit. Have you still got it, Andy?
Hi, darling. I wish, and it wouldn't fit. But Hey everyone, welcome to this fabulous interview edition of the Electronic Cafe. We're buzzing to be talking to Lloyd, Maria and Pete from Agency V. Guys, welcome to Electronic Cafe. I think time is perfect for this. You know, where do we start? You know, new compilation album coming out, awards and supporting Gary Numan. I mean, wow.
It sounds all right, doesn't it, that?
Mate, it's an absolute firestorm.
We couldn't have lined all that better, really. We couldn't have done any better, no.
Look, we've known you for a while and seen you play live and seen you grow, but just taking it back a little bit, how did you guys all connect?
Back in lockdown, Lloyd and I, both of us hadn't been very active musically. I think we got to the point where we were both a bit no inspiration, and Lloyd and I got chatting on Facebook, and he said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Not a lot." He said, and so I said, "I'm not doing a lot either." So we kind of exchanged these few words, and Lloyd said, "Well, maybe we should do something together." So I said, yeah, great. And that happens a lot. You get people say that, nothing ever comes of it. Anyway, 2 minutes later after the conversation, Lloyd threw me across a demo, listened to it, and thought, "Oh, I like this." And I was so inspired with it. I literally wrote the lyrics in about 20 minutes, recorded it down, sent it back, and we were really laughing about it because it came together so quickly. And then that same afternoon, he sent me another one. And the same thing happened. So by the end of that afternoon, we had 2 demos down. And then Lloyd said to me, "Oh my God, we've got half an EP." So that was really quite funny because we didn't realise at that stage that 5 weeks later we would have completed it, having pulled Pete in. So we laugh about this now, hence the album's called Never Meant to Be, and it was never meant to be. It was just something to do to keep us out of trouble. So it's kind of like, it's been so organic, and I think it surprised us more than anyone.
It was interesting because at the same time I was having these conversations with Marie, me and Pete were friends on Facebook, and we've been chatting backwards and forwards for quite a long while. I know. So I thought these demos are coming together really well. Would really work well with the guitar. So I think the first one come back from Marie, and she doesn't know, but I just went straight on to Pete. Went, "Hey, Pete, I've got this demo. Are you interested in playing on it?" He listened to it, just like, "Yeah, let's do it." And I think we'd had the majority of that song done within space of 2 or 3 days tops.
Yeah.
What was the first one? Was it Never Meant to Be?
Yeah, the first one we wrote was Never Meant to Be, followed by Paranoid.
It grew so quickly and so organically. It was just like we were sitting around twiddling our thumbs. So, and it's just such a great use of time.
You guys know each other before, the Facebook speaking and lockdown and stuff. I mean, was you on speaking terms with each other?
Well, here's the funny thing. So Lloyd and I knew each other and had known each other quite a few years, having met at music events. Pete and I were friends on Facebook. We'd never met. But the most spooky thing about this is, backtrack to 2006, somebody gave me Bright Lights, Dark Room CD, which was Depeche Mode covers. And on that CD in 2006 was one dance track of Ice Machine that I listened to that and thought, wow, that's incredible. Wasn't into the writing, wasn't into the recording at that stage in my life, but vowed to myself one day I was going to go into a studio and I was going to record a track like that dance track. So fast forward to 2014 when I've got sort of bringing my kids up and that out of the way, got in touch with a mate of mine who's a DJ and went into his studio and said to him, I want to do like a dance track. I want to do puppets, Depeche Mode's Puppets, but I want it to be in this style. Let him listen to the track by Ice Machine.
Yeah.
So fast forward to 2020 when Lloyd introduced me to Pete. Pete said, sorry, Marie, I don't know anything about you musically. How did you get started? So I relayed this story to Pete, told him about the Bright Lights, Dark Room CD that I'd been given and the track that inspired me. And he went, what track was it? And I said, it was Ice Machine by Alien 6. And he went, that was me. And I'd been listening to this on YouTube, my kids on my lap, they all loved it, and on millions and millions of cover versions out there. It transpires that Pete was the one that actually inspired me all those years back to actually get on and do this and get on into the studio and start actually recording. And I still can't get over it even now, which is mental.
The solution is the plausible lie. They won't believe you if you look them in the eye. Only as good as the promises we keep. Just stay away before you're in too deep. Maybe I need to explain. I'll take you down again.
It's funny how kind of nepotistic and incestuous like the whole electronic music scene is, because you can draw lines between all the people we know. I mean, me and Andy started doing this 4 years ago. I saw Tenek years ago, saw Pete play. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, it's funny how all the dots join up.
Yeah. I think me and Pete had, I can't remember what event it was, Pete, but we'd been on the same bill. You were with Signstar?
Signstar, yeah. Signstar on the Friction. And
doing the Friction with Gene, and we kind of, I think we knew each other before that, really.
Yeah, I saw it at the Human gig in Southend.
You meet up all these characters all around the, different events, and it seemed like a good thing. It's some great stuff's come out of the back of all of that.
But you kind of jumped to my next question. I mean, individually, what is your music histories, in the past? I mean, I know some of the things Pete's done. What have you done in the past before Agency V?
Yeah, I mean, I started as like just a solo artist, and going back to that track Puppets that I did, the guy that actually recorded it for me and created the music, he said, let's stick it up on SoundCloud. And I did it. It was a bucket list thing for me. I never intended to get into it. I just wanted to do one track, tick it off and go bucket list before I'm 50. And he said to me, don't be stupid, we can't leave it there. So we covered Fade to Grey and just started to put the music out there. And I ended up being asked by quite a few different people to work with them. So I ended up covering tracks like Will You, Hazel O'Connor's Will You, with a guy from, I think, Italy, and a friend that's a sax player. Just bits and pieces like this. And then work with various different people, but not seriously. It was just more for fun. And then obviously fast track to Agency V and never wanting to get on the stage. I said to both Lloyd and Pete, initially, don't ask me because I'm not doing it. No, seriously, I was like, no, it's not something I want to do. I just didn't feel confident to do it. Just didn't want to do it at all. And they've been really good actually, because they've chipped away, but not exerting the pressure too much.
Yeah, and look at you now.
I know, and it's just the fear becomes a fear. The fear isn't what you made it out to be in the end. It's And it's just been so good. It's like, I don't know, I suppose a childhood dream, something I always wanted to do, never thought I would, but the opportunities come and you can't say no.
No,
You just can't, you know, especially with the Gary Numan thing that's just happened. We had no time to prepare for that. It was kind of like we were lost. And then 2 weeks later, we were on the stage, you know, before him. So, you know, it's just not something you can say no to.
I mean, I was going to ask you a bit later on, like, how did the Newman thing come around? But I mean, I'm still interested to know what Lloyd's past is, and I've got a lot bit of paper for Pete's past.
That's another episode, isn't it?
Band of 1,000 bands.
Together, isn't it? Yeah. So I started producing when I was like a kid in school. I remember getting this Casio SK200 thing. It was like really minimal little beats. It had sampling. You know, you could sample on it like 2 seconds. I'd make up silly things, and then I started to replicate some Depeche stuff and all that. You know, because we're big fans of that whole scene. Moving on, probably, and I was doing stuff right up until probably late 90s. I started dabbling. I had a band called Access, AXCESS, because we all worked at the credit card company, and it was like breakbeat with guitars, and I thought, yeah, this is really good. But then I had kids and I had to kind of leave all that alone. When my kids were a little bit older, I started getting into this mashup stuff, you know, putting the vocal of one track onto the backing of another.
Yeah.
So what I did was I was just getting into it, and I did this thing, and it had a Zig Zig Sputnik track. I think it was called Grooving with Mr. Pervert or something like that, something subtle like they always did. And it had Pink, I'm Coming Up, Get the Party Started, or something like that. And it was overlapped. Now, I didn't know, but Martin Degville heard it. And then what actually happened is I started working with Martin Degville, the lead singer of Zig Zig Sputnik. And I worked with him for about 5 years, producing albums and EPs and singles and stuff like that. We did a cover of Eighth Day by Hazel O'Connor.
Yeah.
We got Martin and we got this other guy, Mark Massive, out of Massive Ego together, because they were good friends at the time. And that came to be, and then that all went a bit more, because I liked Mark. I wanted to work with Mark. So I said to Martin, I'm going to work with Mark to do an album for him. And it all just it blew up, and that finished. The Degville thing finished. So I worked with Massive Ego for a while. But at the same time, I kind of had this other thing going on called The Friction with another artist called Jean Serene. And I was doing stuff with her. And then the COVID thing kicked in. So this is how Agency V came to be, because I wasn't able to go gigging, kind of sit there twiddling my thumbs. Jean had her own things going on at that period in time. And so this is how the Agency V thing came. The Agency V thing has been amazing to get up and running. And
It's really snowballing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's grown legs. It really has, you know, and as you know, in recent months, it's just gone crazy.
It doesn't matter if you fall, no one really cares at all. There's a million people freaking out. Look around you. Should we really take the blame when tomorrow's just the same?
Mr. Steer.
I mean, you know, I've been doing music since I was a kid. I've been in loads and loads of bands. I mean, you know, everyone does take the mickey about how many projects and bands. I mean, it's only sort of 3 at the moment, with one on hiatus, which is Tenek, which I don't know will ever come back, but you can never say never. But yeah, over the years, I've just done loads of stuff, made lots of contacts, done lots of things. You know, I did originally support Gary Numan in 1992 on the Isolate tour with my band Bombouche.
Wow.
Then I joined the other band who were on that tour, Glasshouse, and we did some more dates some years further than that. And then Tenek, you know, you ended up supporting a lot of quite well-known people like Blancmange, Toya, Human League was our second ever gig. We went from playing like a tiny little place in London on a Thursday to supporting the Human League at Buxton Opera House on the Saturday. So it was a bit of a jump. Yeah, so I mean, I've got a long musical history. That's, you know, going back to being a kid, really. I mean, I started music when I was 12 and I've been in bands ever since. So
You guys won some award, right? Is it the middle of this year or early this year?
yeah, we won the Radio Wigwam Best Electro Act. And
Wow.
to be honest with you, you know, I was the only one who attended because we honestly didn't think we were in with a shout. And I think Marie might have been away. I think Lloyd was working. And I thought, well, someone ought to go along just to represent us because we've been nominated. And then, you know, through the course of the evening, you know, the organisers, they just kept dropping little hints. And I just thought, I don't know what's happening here, but I think we might have won.
Wow.
Then I got called up on the stage. I mean, really, last year we haven't done 1/3 of what we've already done this year. So to run it last year when we sort of, you know, we did a really good EP last year, and you know, we started our first foray into the live arena. You know, we did quite a few decent gigs last year, you know. Yeah, so we did win the award, and therefore we're playing at next year's awards, and I'm sure we won't win it again. And we're currently just sharing our lovely little glass award that we got.
You didn't get one each. You got to share it.
No, we had to share it. Well, you could buy additional ones. I think, Marie, have you got yours yet?
No.
Never
I'm
got it.
too scared to own it in case I drop it.
Okay. Well, I'm the clumsiest member of the band. It's probably best off not at my house, that's for sure.
Every sound just pulls me in. I feel you crawl beneath my skin. I'm paranoid, paranoid. Where do I begin? Pray for me, 'cause I'm falling to my knees. I try to speak.
So this is the big one. A couple of weeks ago, you supported Gary Numan in Brighton for his 3 Glastonbury warm-up shows, which is absolutely phenomenal. I mean,
Well done, guys.
Amazing.
yeah, really do raise our glasses to you. That's a brilliant thing to have on your CV or to do. It just must have been phenomenal. We was lucky enough to speak to Gary ourselves for a couple of hours a few weeks ago. He was brilliant with us. He was lovely. He really
Seen it. It's great. Really good.
Lovely. Yeah, you can't fault the man. He's generous beyond belief.
Yeah.
how did that all come about?
Actually, it's really bizarre. So I've known Gary for years through you know, I know I've known them for a long time. You know, I know Gary's family and that. But I haven't done anything musical on that side with Gary for a long time. And the other week, and it was only about 2 or 3 weeks ago, my dad was over, and we just having a nice family evening. And you know, my phone went, and it said Numan, Brighton and Frome, and I thought, what the hell is that? So I opened it up, and it just said, "Hey ho, Mr. Steer. How are you doing? I've forgotten to book a support band for the forthcoming warm-up gigs. So do you fancy doing it? I know it's short notice. The fee won't be brilliant, but you can sell merch. And I understand if it's short notice, that sort of thing, you know. But, you know, if you could help us out, we'd really appreciate it." And I said, well, I'll have to, you know, I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And then, you know, I got in touch with Lloyd and Marie, and you know, we tried to see if we could make it work. You know?
And he's played that down really well because it was like, sit down. I've got something.
You go, no.
We do this sometimes.
Brace yourselves.
These two knew before me, so I mean, we've got like our messenger group chat, and I mean, it's quite hilarious. You know, we've got a lot of stuff goes on it, and sometimes these two have been chatting, and I'm like, oh Jesus, I need to get a cup of tea and actually sit down and read what they've been saying. And the pair of them knew before me, so they were obviously chatting late at night. And I got up the next morning and thought, oh my God, what's going on here? Like, there's just rings of it. You know, I was like staggered, absolutely staggered. And I thought, okay, just say yes and worry about it afterwards.
Who messaged you? Was it Gary, or was it like?
Yes, Gary emailed me out of the blue. Gary Numan himself emailed me out of the blue.
Amazing.
So this thing, we didn't even have to sort of, you know, go for it. It was presented to us by the man himself, and it's just like, that's never going to happen again. You've got to jump all over that straight away, you know.
Oh, you know, if you have to quit your job, so be it. It's this you know.
Yeah,
we're doing it.
Yeah,
we're doing
worry about it after.
Writing on glass.
I saw some of the reactions. I mean, it looked like you getting the most amazing feedback on those nights.
Honestly, Andy, it was mind blowing. The place was packed. It's not massive. It's like 650.
Yeah, it's a nice venue,
but it's a lovely venue. Yeah, and it was jammed. And after every song, we got such a good response after each and every song on every night. It's amazing. It's like we were playing to an audience that had kind of come to see us, and no one knew us. It was amazing.
Yeah, and as Mark said, and Pete, he's the nicest guy, right? You know, I saw the pictures with you guys, and he's so genuine. He just, love the guy.
Yeah.
They
I mean,
made us very
the strange thing is that I got tickets for the Brighton show before I knew that you was on it.
Right.
And then I said to Andy, should we go down to Brighton? And Andy said, I can't, I'm away on a holiday. So they was in my basket and I just let them go. Otherwise, coincidentally, we'd have been down there, which would have been phenomenal.
His team, his management, his band, his family, they were so welcoming.
Oh.
We didn't feel separate from them at all. From the minute we got into that venue, it was just, they were just incredible. Incredible with us for the whole 3 days, which, I think that was, did we work it out as our 7th gig?
They were 8, 9 and 10.
8, 9 and 10. They were
How many bands say, by the 8th gig, we supported Gary Numan?
We have been an extremely lucky band in a very short period of time when we've actually started doing live stuff.
But I'll keep walking in the rain. The tears will fall and the nights will pass. You better give it up if you ever thought I'd change. I'll stand my ground, you'll never have the hold on me.
After the gig, obviously, once we'd performed and Gary went on, and there's quite a bottleneck in the venue. Yeah. We had our merch stand next to Gary's merch stand. Their merch guy Paul was brilliant. We had such a laugh with him. Agency V t-shirts, Gary Numan t-shirts, all hanging together. But when they all started filtering out, we knew they got an 11 o'clock curfew, so they all started filtering out about 10:30. But we just weren't prepared for the we're all behind our merch stand, but it just went mental. we literally couldn't get the wrappers off and sign the CDs quick enough. And by night one, we were like, geez, we're going to sell out. And it was just, absolutely. I stood there and was mind blown by it.
I'm really pleased with you guys. It's brilliant. Well done.
Cheers, Mark. Yeah, cheers.
New compilation album out Friday, Never Meant to Be. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it? So all our lovely EC people, because, we've heard tracks, and for the people that haven't, check this out because it's coming your way this week. Go and buy it. But love to hear from you guys, just to tell our viewers a little bit about it.
What this is a really nice way of catching up on basically virtually everything we've done. We've released, a couple of singles on their own and 2 EPs. And this brings together all of that stuff, but also remixes. So it's like if you've never heard any of our stuff before, that is probably going to be the best introduction to what we've done. And it basically follows the journey from the first track we ever did. It's the opening track on the CD.
Yeah.
And then you've got some really great stuff right the way through to the remixes that we've had done by great people like Andy Gray, who's remixed Newman as well.
Yeah, of course.
Inertia, our friend Reza from Inertia, he's done some stuff. Paris Alexander, he's done one for us, and Psychoelectric as well. So it was hard to condense it down to best present what we wanted. But I think what we've got now is a really great selection of tracks. Personally, I'm madly proud of it. It's great. When we get to Friday the 11th, it's going to be everywhere on Spotify, iTunes, everywhere you go.
Yeah.
All those horrible basically stream and rip us off.
There's a cover of Stupid Girl on there, which is one of my favourite songs.
Yeah.
We've gone around in circles for 2 years trying to find a cover that worked, and nothing has quite clicked. And then I think one of the boys said, how about this? And got the demo down, and it just worked instantly.
We knew we wanted to do something because, and it proved really worthwhile when we were playing on the Gary warm-ups for Glastonbury, because people are just there, they're just witnessing you for the first time. They're getting into it. But as soon as we dropped that one, the crowd really started going for it. And we played Fiddler's Elbow the Saturday after we did the run-up, the same time that Gary was on stage at Glastonbury. He stole our thunder. When we dropped that Stupid Girl track, you had the barmaid come out and was dancing on the floor as well. I noticed that the manager of the bar, everybody was bouncing around. So it proved to be like a really good to go for. You know, we wanted to get something that really, it wasn't a million miles away from us, but we can actually give it our own sort of stamp.
Yeah, we used to finish with Crazy Horses, the Osmond song.
Oh, that's a fantastic track.
Yeah, we used to like have loads of synths all over it and everything, but that used to go down a storm. It's like,
yeah, I think it's really hard to get a good cover, really, that you can do justice to. But I think we achieved it with that one.
Yeah,
I'm
nice.
really happy that we chose that.
Don't believe in fear. Don't believe in faith. Don't believe in anything that you can break. Stupid girl.
I think we need to like mention as well, like Distortion. We were so like fortunate last year that Jim Distortion. He offered us a deal which was amazing. I think that was November last year, so that was another really good thing that happened. And courtesy of Jim, this album's come together as the first release for Distortion. Yeah, so he's made this possible for us, and I think we've got another 3 to write now.
Three album deal.
Yeah, another 3 albums to write. We're already partway there. We've got quite a few new tracks written.
We have 5 written already, I think.
Yeah.
We're actually, Jim came to us the other day and said it's quite unprecedented. He's never known it before, that we've basically nearly covered all costs of the album before even release day.
Wow.
You know, he said it's unheard of, really. So
It's
again,
nice though, right? Isn't that nice that there's some good news?
I'm just so proud of like that happening.
Yeah.
You can't, again, it's something that you can't write. You've nearly covered all your costs
Amazing.
before the album is out. That's mental. On pre-orders.
you know, there's so little money in music, really. I mean, the live events we put on, it's try and get people to buy tickets and stuff, or to go out and see live music, or buy the physical product and stuff. So it's just amazing that, all that faith has come through, that you've kind of covered your cost nearly, and the album's not even out for a few.
Exactly, Mark. Exactly, and it's like when we heard that, it's like no one. We've never. I don't think any of us, like Pete and I, have been in this for quite a while now, and you never have that happen to you.
We are beyond grateful for that, and we've been really, really lucky in the fact that we've had some real core followers from the very beginning at the Hotbox. I think, was it 2023? 2023. We've had people that were there and I think have been there at every single thing that we've done. It's I don't know, it's meant everything to us. We've been really, really grateful to everybody.
Oh, are you asking $1 million question?
Well, any chance of vinyl?
Oh, yeah.
Final. Over to you, Lloyd, because this is.
I kind of had a chat. It's definitely on my list to do something. I would love to do it, and I think it would be really good if we could just take like the 10 tracks that I think represent us the best, get it right down to 10. Would be hard. But we've got the remixes on the CD, so it would make it a little easier. But we might have to lose the cover or whatever. But I'm happy with that because I think our tracks are strong enough to support like a vinyl release. So it would be really great. And I probably need to have a chat with Jim if he's open to that. When between us, we'd have to decide if it's viable and all that. I think through Distortion, we're probably more likely to get it on the second album.
Yeah. That's I think the plan. I think Jim wants to see. That we can build a fan base and that we work hard and we're going to go out and play live. I mean, we do work really hard on this. We put in massive effort to this.
We've got a great team behind us as well on like the mixing side of things and the mastering. We've got Tim Dorney who does a load of stuff for us. He's that album's got Tim all over it, and he really helps us with that sort of thing. And he offers advice. Offered Mike when Marie was buying a mic. He kind of helped out with that side of thing. But we've got a great team behind us, but we do manage it all ourselves now. So
in terms of the songwriting process, I think you guys alluded to originally when you first started, but is there typical sort of writing process for an Agency V track, or does it vary depending on the track?
Well, it tends to be majority of the tracks Lloyd sent the demos for. Pete's sent demos as well, and it's very much a case if I don't get the lyrics, and I work really fast. So if they send me something and it inspires me, normally, you know, it comes out really, really quickly. If I don't get it in the first few hours of listening, then it's not coming. I mean, there's a few tracks that have gone around in circles, and I think there's a couple that are in the mix that we've pained over. But generally, they are very, very quick and very organic, and we know when we're onto something, that hook, you know, we get that hook, and that's it. We just know.
I think 95% of what we've put together, if Marie comes back within the first hour or two, then we know that's golden, you know, because she's been enthusiastic about it. I know that, you know, if I give a basic demo to Pete, he's going to put something amazing over the top of it, you know, or Pete does supply demos. We Can Erase You, that was Pete's. He gave it to me. I wanted to put some sort of Numan-esque keyboards on it, so that's where the solo came from in that. I wanted to, because it felt like that. It felt like it should do that. So Pete had this great guitar riff, and someone mentioned in a review of the Brighton shows, it said that guitar riff is definitely off like the first Tube by Army album.
I mean, that's how I learned to play guitar, was through Tube by Army and Replicas. I just, as a kid, I sat down with those two albums and I just poured over them, learning to play all those guitar riffs, like, you know, the Mac Man and you know, all that kind of stuff. Because Replicas is quite a guitar heavy album. There is more than a nod of "It Must Have Been Years" to "We Can Erase You." Not deliberately, but just because Numan is in my musical DNA, and I can't help it. I just can't help it. I try to tune it out as much as I can, but that's probably why we went down so well with Gary Numan. I mean, I did say to Gary himself, I said, I think the reason we're going down so well
is because there's a few nods to it.
A few nods to your good self in there, and he went, you know.
It's funny you learned to play guitar on those two Numan albums, because I learned to play guitar on Telecom where there's no guitars.
That's why I didn't mention it. I mean, there is a little bit of guitar on Telecom, but I mean, the Tube by Army album, you know, that's all guitar riffs. It's all, you know, Are You Real? All that sort of stuff. My Shadow in Vain. And that is why my guitar style is kind of a bit of that, a bit of Russell Bell, a bit of Midge, bit of Bill Nelson, all my favourite guitarists, you know.
Everyone's life and music history bleeds out into their work, doesn't it?
Anything to kill the pain. When I'm holding on, yes, I don't want to fall again. Why can't you see? That's a long way down, and we can be.
Gary did, in fact, send us a lovely email today just saying, you know, how much he enjoyed our set. And he said, you know, I listen to it every night because his little dressing room was just off the side of the entry up to the stage. And he said, listened every night, and he particularly liked our last track, which Gary and Gemma thought was a bit reminiscent of Curve, which we took as a massive compliment, because Lloyd and myself are really big fans of Curve. So that's, you know, that's a lovely thing for us to hear, like, because that's a good influence. Curve were a super cool band.
Yeah.
And I was just reading today that a lot of people feel that Garbage kind of stole Curve's thunder, didn't they?
Massively. We posted about that.
Yeah.
We posted about that, definitely. He said, you listen to Curve and you can hear Garbage in that.
Absolutely.
We draw from a wide palette, really, but I think it might be a little bit obvious that we love Curve, we love Garbage, but also there's that we love Numan. You know, I always think, what's that? We need one of those great, big, beautiful synth lines going through.
Anthemic.
That little off note that gives it a bit of an edge, you know, that dark twist on it. I'm always looking for that in there, and that came. I think We Can Erase You. It was perfect. It was pretty much there, but I thought, that ooh wee ooh woo woo. It needs a bit of that. And then I did the big synth solo bit in there, so it was virtually there. I just had to fill in a few gaps. And
that blew us away, Lloyd. When you said, I've just added a few synths, I remember sitting down thinking, oh my god, that's just put that track to another level.
It's like Pete gives us some stuff. It inspires all of us to give something. It works great. It works. Maybe I've given too much away there. Pete's gone all.
So going back to the vinyl.
Right.
We would love to.
No, not really. You guys, speaking to Pete, your calendar's filling up already for this year and next year. I mean, what can we expect to get from you?
You know, we do need to expand our live show and, you know, get more visuals involved and, you know, we just see how it goes. But I mean, I think next year is going to be super busy. We'll be doing more videos, of course. And the most important thing is to finish our first proper cohesive album, because Never Meant to Be is pretty much a compilation of everything we've done so far. But we need an album that's got like a constant vibe and concept, and that'll be our first proper album as such.
Have you got a time frame for your first album? Have you been given a period of when you want to get it out, or do you see how it goes?
We haven't as such. I think we're dependent on how many tracks are on it. We're actually 5 tracks into that album already that are solid. Just need mixing and mastering and any other added bits we want to put on them. So I think we've got about 8-9 weeks off from gigging. I think the plan is to actually crack down and get more written in that time. It would be nice to think, I don't know, middle of next year. Yeah,
I think that's what we're looking at next summer, really, ideally.
Yeah. I think the nice thing about Jim is there's no pressure. It's all very relaxed. I'm very much, I think the boys are too. You put the pressure on and the inspiration dries up really quickly. Yeah. You know, it's if you can sit down and do it at leisure and it just all flows that way.
We usually work, it's usually like there might be periods of like inactivity. And then all of a sudden, one of us will throw a demo in the mix. And then the frenzy happens. And I go, right, I'm really into this now. I've got to go and put something else together. I've got to start listening to stuff and taking it on. And what would I want to give a twist on or whatever? So once it starts, it's really quick to actually get movement. And we played one of them already live. There's a new track, Who We Used to Be. And that went down absolutely awesome every time we played it, you know, and that's not been released at all.
Me and Mark are finishing a couple of fun questions, right? So 3 of you all got a table for 4 each. Who are your guests? So you've got 3 guests to join you, Lloyd, Marie and Pete.
I bet I know 2 of Pete's.
Yeah, I think I do as well, but I'll let them tell us. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Well, it has to be Dave Garn. He'd be at my table 100%. I don't know if you know a band called Within Temptation.
Yeah.
No,
yeah, Sharon, the lead singer. Oh my gosh, she's just phenomenal. Self-taught vocalist, absolutely inspires me. She'd be amazing.
I've seen him on my wife likes those.
Oh, they're just incredible. I think also I loved the band Heart. So you've got Nancy from Heart. I mean, like the out and out 80s rock gothic. I have to have her at my table.
Brilliant.
Oh, and then probably Robert Smith from The Cure. So.
There's a lot of dark clothes on that table.
Yeah.
A lot of black and hairspray.
Yeah, a lot of hairspray.
Lots of black clothes and hairspray.
Go on, Lloyd. Hit us with it.
I think I'd have Neil Tennant, because I was a big Pet Shop Boys fan when I was a kid, back in 83, 84. I love all that early. I prefer their, what they call the empirical phases, or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
I loved all their early stuff. I thought their B-sides were spot on as well. In those first 4 or 5 singles, they were amazing. So I kind of lost it with them probably midway through the 90s, but I love all their early stuff. So I think he'd be a really interesting bloke to have on.
Yeah.
I've always been a massive fan of Elvis. So I think I might get Elvis on the table.
Wow.
In his full jumpsuit. And I think Tony Halliday from Curve. I think she'd be an interesting.
I've met her. I've actually met
her, haven't you?
I've had dinner with Tony Halliday, and she's lovely.
He's done my one.
Yeah, sorry, she is really lovely, but she's not a woman to be trifled with. Let me just say that.
Did she have trifle on the night?
She didn't have trifle, and she no.
I'm here all evening.
Go on, Pete.
Shall I guess 2 of Pete's?
See if you can.
Newman Bowie.
Oh, see, because I'd like to go for people who I haven't met but really admire. So I'm
There isn't anyone you haven't met, is there?
probably not. I've never met. Right, the first one would be Josh Homme of Queens of the Stone Age.
Really?
Absolutely, he's one of my heroes. Guitar and vocals, and Queens of the Stone Age, my favourite sort of rock band. So definitely Josh Homme. Also, I think he would be a very interesting bloke. He's a bit of a larger than life character.
Yeah.
Second one would probably be Trent Reznor because the man's
That's a good shout.
he's a
I
genius.
want to swap Elvis for Trent.
Ah, okay. So there's Trent, and then this is going to be really off the wall, but I follow the actor Sam Neill on Instagram, and he seems like the most brilliant human being you could ever wish to meet. You just get all these Instagram clips. He's really into farming and wine, isn't he? And he just wanders around his farm showing you his ducklings and that. And he's obsessed with like being and he's just such a funny, nice bloke. I just think Sam Neill would be absolutely fantastic dinner guest. And that's what you want. I'd like to see how Sam Neill gets on with Josh Homme. Crazy.
Okay, so here we go. Next fun question. Desert Island Disc. What would each of your Desert Island discs be?
Oh,
One album.
One album.
for me, it would have to be a Gary Numan album. And the first album that I ever bought as a kid was The Pleasure Principle, and it absolutely blew my mind. And I think actually there are better, more varied Numan albums, but that album, he just went for the sound.
Yeah,
it had a theme to it, and I mean, you know, he totally rinsed that Polymoog, ARP Odyssey, Mini Moog thing, but it was just so well done. Just for that, really, I think that's the album that changed my life, really, and made me want to do this. Because I then, you know, the next year, my dad took me to Hammersmith Odeon on the Telitor, and that just sealed the deal. I just thought, oh, this. What else would you want to do? This is the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
Doesn't get
to this day, the best 90 minutes. You have to say The Pleasure Principle, I'm afraid.
Marie?
Oh, struggle, because I know it's predictable, but it goes back to Depeche Mode for me. Struggle between Songs of Faith and Devotion, or Music for the Masses. I know I'm not allowed three, but anyway, Black Celebration. Those three albums mean very different things to me, different stages of my life.
Yep.
Black Celebration was really important because being that young and going to Wembley and seeing those screens fall away, and it just blew my brains.
Amazing.
So no, I'm not allowed three, but anyway, there's three. Just
I think for me it would be The Downward Spiral by Nine Inch Nails.
Great shout.
Because I remember, you know, I bought that. I got bought it for me. My girlfriend at the time bought it for me, and we were going on our way out to Tenerife, and I just sat there in the pool for probably the 7 days of that, and just listening to it. And there's just so much going on in every different area of the sound, and it made me think of music and sound in a completely different way, not just being left and right and all this, and just being drums, bass, guitar, or synths and all that. There's so much more that you can do with sound, and how you can make it really intense by using just the weirdest little noise, like this noise that just grows and grows and grows. All of a sudden, it just takes over the whole mix. I might start with a little distorted drum beat, but at the end of the song, it's just all distortion, and you can't hear anything else. It just opened my eyes to how someone can produce and really manipulate sound. Songs are great as well. There's some off the wall stuff on that, but that was just, it opened my eyes to what you can do with production.
And the irony is that's one of Newman's go-to albums as well, isn't it? There's a clip of him in a record shop saying what's in his bag, and he brings that out and just says that really inspired him to get back to where he wanted to be. And so,
it makes you think about sound and what you can do with it in different ways, and that's why I love that album.
Yeah, brilliant. Look, great recommendation, Desert Island Disc, and massive good luck for the release on Friday. We're super pleased that your star is rising. We love you guys. We'll be promoting it. I'm not sure. Mark will put links to the album on the program, this episode when it goes out.
Especially the vinyl.
There'll be a special vinyl link just for me and Mark. So we have 2 exclusive copies.
Yeah, I've been told there's one in Middlesbrough that we can go up and use. I might just get a couple pressed up for you boys just to keep you quiet.
I was nagging. Look, and congrats on the award, and obviously congrats on being on stage with Gary Numan. You know, it's we're just so pleased that you know things are going well for you guys. And
I think we're genuinely thrilled for you guys.
Thank you.
Really,
and yeah, thank you for giving up your evening, have a quick chat with us, and all the very best for Never Meant to Be, released on Friday, and we'll put links down below.
Thank you very much, fellas.
Thank
really
you.
appreciate your support. Really.
Always, guys, always. Yeah, just let's just stay in touch. You know, we just want to see you keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You deserve it.